So with all the buzz around capital supremacy in the new Battlefront 2, I thought it'd be a cool idea to go back and play the old Geonosis Conquest map in the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. And to be honest, it was even better than I remembered. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Here are 50 absolutely insane details and best things about the old Geonosis. Also, just a heads up, I say the words Geonosis and Geonosian lots of times in this video. So if anyone feels like doing a word count of these two words or cutting them into a separate video, you can have the honor of making me look like a fool. Here we go. Number 1, you can play as Mace Windu.
How pleasant of you to join us. This party's over.
Number 2, there are playable Geonosians in the Hunt game mode, where you face off against a squad of clone sharpshooters. There are AI Geonosians in the Conquest game mode, which have a significant impact on the battle. However, even though this is a reinforcement not balanced by anything on the Republic team, the match doesn't feel unbalanced. There's just a few extra Geonosians running around. It's realistic. It's a bunch of bug people on a bug planet. It makes sense. The Geonosians actually have built-in flying mechanics and can hover and shoot their sonic blasters from the air, which fire the green sonic blasts as seen in Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars, which also sound exactly like they do in the film. That sonic sound we all love. Clones have an ATT, which you can drive and in which you can change seats, switching between weapons to fire this massive cannon on top. The ATT also has a chain gun at the back, keeping it protected from all angles, and is very tanky and difficult to destroy, as opposed to the much more vulnerable CIS vehicles. You can also spawn on the ATT and help defend it from oncoming enemies. This also gives the Republic an advantage of having one additional spawn point over the CIS. Okay, alright, enough about the ATT. This isn't 50 insane details about the ATT. I guess I could make that video one day though. We'll see. Grenades can stick to enemy vehicles. This is the same throughout the whole of Battlefront 2 and not just on Geonosis. There's friendly fire, so you can kill your own teammates, making for some comical gameplay or fulfilling your fantasy playing as a clone that turns on all his clone brothers and follows the path to the dark side. It's like Anakin without midichlorians and the Force. You can get extra health from back to tanks left all around the battlefront from fallen enemies. This is the same in the whole game. This is a Battlefront 2 thing. There is also a medical droid and an ammo droid for replenishing health and ammo. Geonosian LR1K cannons are positioned all around the battlefront and make that sonic sound we all love. Both teams and all classes are able to use the LR1K cannons, and they aren't locked to only Geonosians. Alright, this one's one of the most insane details of all. The map is huge, just like the one seen in the film and in the Clone Wars. A lot of space, a lot of desert here. Okay, some details about command posts. There is a command post inside the hangar at the back of the map. I think this is a hangar anyway, I don't know, it's a building that has open doors. This hangar looks similar to some of the Geonosian separatist bases and locations from both Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars. There's a command post in this control tower on top of the hill. This looks like the control tower the Geonosians can use to overlook the entire battle and kind of reminds me of this room where Dooku finds out the banking clan will sign his treaty.
The banking clan will sign your treaty.
There is a command post underneath a destroyed hard cell class interstellar transport. There is definitely someone crushed underneath this, as they probably stood too close to it while it was being destroyed. You can play as Count Dooku and carve up clone troopers with your superior sword skills.
Your swords, please. We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the Chancellor.
It's a lightsaber? Get with the times, old man. You can play as a Magna Guard that shoots purple missiles in place of the purple electro staffs. You can play as a droidica. Look at the incredible rolling physics. The map feels big and varied enough that there are no choke points. You know those parts of the map where everyone gets into this massive grenade spam in a corridor that completely ruins your KD? But because there are none of these in this match, there is a lot of variety in gameplay. You never know which way the match is going to go. Is it going to go this way or this way or this way? You never know. You can play as a clone commander. He has a chain gun on his shoulder. Can you believe that? He's walking around with a freaking chain gun on his shoulder. Dude. You can play as a jet trooper. These guys actually feel kind of similar to the Geonosians in the way that they fly and hover around the battle. You can drive a hailfire tank that shoots the purple missiles in all directions, just like in Attack of the Clones. These have honestly got to be one of my favorite Star Wars land vehicles just because of how chaotic they seem to drive all around the map and their missiles are flying flying everywhere. It's just insane. It's crazy. The Hailfire tanks also explode like they do in the films, with both their wheels going flying in different directions. The map looks dusty and orange, and there's sand in the sky, and I think they really nailed the feel of Geonosis. That's definitely an insane detail. Map feels like Geonosis. I mean, if it didn't, it wouldn't be as detailed, would it? And it definitely wouldn't be insane. This is due to all the vehicles, the scale of the battle, the Geonosians. The match is immersive, diverse, large scale. There are heroes. It feels like the battle from the film. You can drive a spider walker, otherwise known as an OG-9 homing spider droid. Just like real spiders, the spider walkers can walk up walls. Look, this one just started crawling up the wall right in front of me, and I was thinking, damn, that's a pretty insane detail. The spider walkers also have this big laser zappy gun on top that shoots from this satellite dish, which feels and sounds exactly how it looks in Attack of the Clones. The match always feels well balanced, and like each team has a fair chance of winning using their vehicles and assets. This is a really interesting detail because on paper the teams definitely don't look matched. The Republic just has their basic troop class and the ATTE, whereas the CIS has their basic troops plus additional Geonosian soldiers, homing spider droids, and Hailfire tanks. However, there is balance between the two teams. This is something I think the new Battlefront 2 can learn from. Each team doesn't necessarily need another reinforcement or vehicle to balance out the other team. Balancing can be created through other means, such as health and abilities. For example, yes, the Republic only has one ATTE compared to the multiple Hailfire tanks and spider droids from the CIS. However, the ATTE has significantly more health than any of the other vehicles, and also much more weaponry, and acts as a spawn point for the clones. Because of the power of the ATTE, the Republic are evenly matched for the CIS, even with the discrepancy in the number of reinforcements. Okay, next detail. There are these underground caves that allow you to flank the enemy. These look like they're modeled after the Geonosis catacombs that allowed the Geonosians to quietly, sneakily travel under the surface of Geonosis, giving them an advantage in battle scenarios. There are a number of Republic Star Destroyers flying in the distance in the midst of the air battle. These add to the immersion and scale of the map. LAATs in the sky also make the battle feel much larger, flying overhead in between explosions and blaster fire. Groups of vulture droids also fly in formation overhead amongst the explosions and orange atmosphere. Mace Windu can chop off the legs of the spider walkers.
This party's over.
One detail I think is really important to the immersion and realism of this map is how much the match sounds like Geonosis. From the sound of the Geonosian sonic weapons to the sound of the missiles in the Hailfire tanks, it's an authentic Geonosian experience. Each different unit of the Phase 1 clone troopers have slightly different designs to their armor. Clone troopers are just the regular white clones, heavy troopers wear blue, sharpshooters red, and clone engineers yellow. I just realized the engineers are actually the pilots of the LAAT in the Attack of the Clones. Okay, one more detail about the ATTE. You can repair it using the Engineer class. Just stand next to it and hold down the button on your repair tool and it works like magic. This is the same for any other vehicle or turret or droid or anything electronic can literally be repaired in this game. These holes in the walls I initially thought were drainage pipes of some sort, similar to the ones seen in some aspects of Geonosian architecture. However, I soon realized these could actually be tunnels leading from the Geonosian catacombs or other Geonosian interiors that the Geonosians use to get around. These tower spires and rock formations are similar to some of the formations seen around the Geonosis arena. What do you love most about Geonosis in the old Battlefront 2? How do you think it compares to the new Battlefront 2's Geonosis? What do you love most about the old Battlefront in general? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. Now for a bombastic life update. Thanks everyone. Alright, also go check out my Conquest versus Capital Supremacy video for a comparison of the old Battlefront 2 and the new. For example, the command posts are exactly the same. Look at them, they are literally the same thing. It's awesome. Go watch that here, and thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew, I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.